Oh, God.
Hello everyone, this is a new series I'm doing called the Top 5 I've Ever Shared a Ring With, sparring, amateur boxing, professional boxing. We're starting with my old man. On his list we have 2 world champions, 2 world title challengers and an Olympian. We're going to start at number 5 with Graham Mountain, an Olympian, um, a Repton, which was Darren Barker. He said he was a well-known, brilliant top-class fighter from back in the day. You boxed him at the back end of his career, probably at the height of your amateur boxing career. So what was he like? Who is he? 'Cause he's not someone that I'm familiar with.
Well, put him on the list because people know him from Repton, and I'm only, what's the word? Because I beat him.
It helps, yeah.
It helps. So, but people will know him from Repton, like Darren Barker. He was Olympic captain. I think he boxed again for St Kitts year after. And obviously he boxed Sugar Island, and I don't think he ever got stopped as amateur as well.
The Olympics back then were 3-3s, weren't it? No head guards.
Yeah.
More like professional boxing.
Well,
So did he turn professional at any point or not?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, it was, when he boxed me, he was past his best.
Only passed his best boxing
And I think he turned professional, and he managed the boxers, I think, at one time.
So what were he like? What were he good at? What were he not good at? What got him to the Olympics, in your opinion?
Well, he clever boxer, I should imagine, but
Yeah.
all he did when I boxed him was kept saying, "Come on, Dave," all through three rounds.
Just trying to see the end of the fight, you think, yeah.
What, him?
Passed his best by this point.
No, he
Yeah.
probably just telling me to come on, Dave, and because he was old timer, like probably old man, me, aren't they?
We're on to number 4. Number 4 is Terry Marsh.
Yeah.
Terry Marsh went on to be world champion.
We put Tony Marsh in the list because people know him because he was world champion. And I sparred with him at Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace were the England training base at the time.
Yeah, like
Team England,
at Sheffield Institute. Yeah. And Kevin Hickey, I always remember saying, "You're two get in ring," sort of thing. And as we were walking round, thought Belly come over and said, "Take it easy, Dave," which I thought, I wouldn't have dreamed of saying that.
Did you take it easy or not?
It was sparring.
So did you take it easy? That's not the question.
Well, yeah. I said take it easy. It was sparring. Yeah.
So how did you find him? Obviously, he went on to be world champion. So what about him was special? It must have been a special fight to be world champion.
He was a clever boxer, but I think I watched his first professional fight, York Hall, and Terry Lawler said to me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I'll box him tomorrow." And he said, "They all want to box him because he can't punch. Probably outbox you, but you won't get hit with him because he won't the biggest puncher." Probably fast to admit it, but
well, it must have been pretty good to go on to be world champion if he couldn't punch.
Well, yeah, he was big fat weight, I should imagine, super fit.
Number 3, another world champion, a world champion I'm well aware of, Lloyd Honeyghan. Yeah. So he sparred Lloyd Honeyghan again. That's the time when you were training down in London, I think.
Yeah, he was no Chris Pyatt, who I watched a lot spar with, and I never sparred with Chris Pyatt, but Lloyd Honeyghan, like with Colin Derrick, he was more a boxer and he was sparring for his own good. I mean, we were probably more aggressive and crash bang ball, not deliberately trying to.
So Honeyghan was more of a boxer then?
I would, yeah, and well, he obviously could punch, don't get me wrong, but I remember there's a story about him that people probably remember. He boxed Cliff Gilpin, who I lost at junior ABA semi-finals. I watched him at Royal Albert Hall for British welterweight title. And I also remember Gilpin catching Lloyd Honeyghan, and he was more or less out on his feet. Terry Lawless run through the ring. So he carried him back to corner and he went on and won the fight. And after that fight, a lot of people, because when he beat Donald Curry.
Did you expect him to beat Curry?
No, a lot of people didn't. But what happened, I'm going that story, Terry Lawless got me a job, said, "Have you got a passport?" And I said, "Yeah." "Got your job sparring with Rennie Weller." I was sparring, what European champion, but he were only a lightweight. That's when I was with Shamsi Julie. I could tell a story about that. And he said, they got the date, and he said, Lloyd Honeyghan wants to go to America with Frank Bruno, his gym, and it wasn't long after. I said, "Well, he's just won title." He says, he wants to go to America, he wants some money. So we're taking him in. He says, "There's only your two in gym." and they were only Frank Black. So they were really professional. We had his hands every day. Jimmy Tibbs was there, Mark Tibbs was dad. Every time you went in the gym, you had to take your hands up. Everything was professional. So wanted to do a bit of sparring, and they're only Frank Black there, and I got these gloves on, and there were no padding in thumb. I didn't say out, and I caught Lloyd Honeyghan, and I was thinking,
So you stopped him in sparring then, yeah?
Stopped him, and that was me. At the time, he claimed to fame, and I caught him with thumb in his eye, and he had to part. And I went to Frank Black. I said, I think these gloves is no padding. I got the biggest bollocking of my life.
So when you were sparring Honeyghan, what at the time British champion at the time though when you were sparring?
Yeah, he just beat Cliff Gilbin at Royal Ball. Then what happened? He went to America with Frank Brown. A lot of people don't. This is with Donald Curry, going back to the story. I couldn't tell you the American he boxed, but he had trouble with his shorts, and his shorts were kept falling down, and he was picking his shorts up. And he didn't say struggle, he beat this American on points. And then, I don't know how long after it was when he boxed Donald Curry, so everybody judged him with that fight beating the American, thinking there's no chance with Donald Curry, because he obviously stopped Colin Jones, but that was an injury with his nose. So, nobody expected it, that it was supposed to be a big shock, but I always remember that because I can relate to it, interesting with me. So
Honeyghan, how good were he in your opinion?
He was really good. He got a lot of them I watched long time boxing. They got habit where when I went to spar with Rennie Weller, funny enough. Can I tell that tale as well?
Yeah.
I only looked, when I was 17, I only looked about 13, so I'm 20 odd. I went to Stuttgart airport from Heathrow. They picked me up, and he said, "You're going to eat gym straight away," because I thought, and they looked at me, they were all training, the Rennie Weller comes in, and at Pitt, on about KB Pitt and that, I'd got these, and people remember from Cunningsbury, they were like, the weights in these black, like shorts, like navy pants. So I had these on, so I looked about, what they call it. And because I'd been sparring with Lloyd Honeyghan, I thought, if I don't perform here, they're going to send me back home. So Rennie Weller was more a boxer. Anyway, he come to me, I went outside, and I belted him to the body. He had to stop. And all the Germans were coming up to me, shaking my hands. The next time I sparred with him, I couldn't get nowhere fucking near him.
So were he good then, Rennie Weller?
Oh, we were European champion.
Good, yeah.
He beat George Feeney. We will go back to one of them I sparred. George Feeney was really good.
Yeah.
I think they boxed afterwards. George Feeney fought European title.
So moving on to number 2. This is a man you beat and lost to as an amateur, Bomber Graham.
Well, yeah, got to mention.
That's your claim to fame, surely. I
heard
that one quite a few times.
Errol war.
So when did you first box him? When you were 16?
I boxed him at Mexborough Catholic Club, and they were like a majority decision. And
what, to you, the first time?
No, to him.
He won the first
and
fight.
And then I boxed, I went at Tom Hill, and then I boxed at Saxelby, where I thought, he was moaning after the fight, that. And I said, you never did a thing, that you didn't deserve to win.
So this is when he's still in Nottingham? This is pre-Brendan for Bomber.
Yeah, he was at Radford, yeah. And I was at Tom Hill then.
So how good were he when you boxed him at 16, 17? How good were he then in comparison to training with him in 80s? What was the difference?
There were 10 months in us. He was born September, I'm November. So, of course, the fight went on. I mean, I won hour 11, there's somebody 12-year-old, which is a big difference. Like, see, if you wouldn't say, when you look back, like Colin Jones, Charlie Magri, Randolph Turpin, there's not many 17-year-olds. I don't know now, but ever won the ABA title. Colin Derrick got a cut eye in final, which you were going to win, and so it got stopped, obviously. So you were really special at 17 to win an ABA title. And Errol won at 18 ABA. So probably that 10 months older, and I got disease.
So what the improvement in Errol from boxing in 74? You then training with him at Brendan as a pro at 84. What's the difference in him? How much will the improvement?
Well, he didn't mature.
Did you spar him again as a pro?
Well, obviously,
or was he too big at that point?
Obviously,
body sparring, or
yeah, and then sometimes we sparred on, like Brian Hansen's another one.
Was he too big though at this point now? Now he's a
For
middleweight,
me
right?
to box,
Yeah.
but to spar with,
All right,
I mean,
yeah.
there's not, you're not taking liberties.
What are the improvement though from that kid as an amateur to working with Brendan?
Well,
now?
if physically matured and everything,
Yeah.
he won ABAs at 18.
Did he ever try and get you back sparring for when you boxing with amateur?
No, not really, no. But I remember Brian Anderson. I had to be careful of Brian Anderson. He was I like a special mention because he's a lovely bloke. He was first black prison governor.
I know Brian, yeah.
He actually come to Doncaster prison. He was like itching rubber. He was. There's only one of them when you used to it. Well, like your punches would bounce off him somehow. So I've got to mention Brian, but.
So number one is someone. How many times you boxed this fella? How many times you boxed him as amateur?
Oh,
the number one man.
Only twice, but the schoolboy.
So we boxed Colin Jones twice. 0-2.
Hey?
0-2. Never beaten him.
Yeah, I've never beaten him, no.
So you think he's the best man you've ever been in a ring with ever? Boxing, sparring,
well,
everything.
Yeah, I mean, we're only schoolboys, but he won ABAs at 17, so he's another one exceptional because it's like
when you box him though, at the time, how old are you? 16?
Yeah.
Are you thinking, fucking hell, who's this? The first time you
boxed
him?
God, yeah, because
were you aware of how good you were pre getting in the ring with him though?
No, they never told me. I didn't have that many fights compared to him because he'd already won schoolboys years before and that. I'm not making an excuse. I'd not had that many fights compared to him.
Were you that good though? When you were in there with
you could
the shot like real for you at the time?
Oh yeah, because I've been same as him. I've been stopping him first round, second round, and I only got me England vest because I only one who went.
So what did you watch from the semi-final of the schoolboys then? Yeah.
But I put him number one because how hard he punched, and obviously his record's gone on, and he lost to Donald Curry, but he was like with Caitlin Lang twice. He was again out box, but he got that knockout punch. So a lot of people like with Donald Curry because he got the injury. He was still in the fight because he could punch. So he probably look back and think, if I could only gone on, and I would have hit Donald Curry.
So did you rate Jones above Honeyghan
then? Well,
or do you think stylistically, because you and Colin Jones both very similar, you struggle more with Colin Jones, as you're probably stronger and hitting harder than you?
Well, as you said, this boxing and sparring, and I mean, Lloyd Honeyghan for all, like I say, he sparred with Chris Pyatt. I remember some of them down London, they won't let you spar because if you got similar style, it was going to be a war sort of thing. And Chris Pyatt was managed with Mickey Duff, I believe, and Honeyghan was with Lawless and that, but he was training him sort of thing. So he was, they know the game, like sort of thing. They didn't want it was hard. It was like we're trying to say to you, you went in that gym and you sparred 3. If you hadn't got a fight on, which I never boxed for Lawless, you did 3. They all did 3 rounds. You had to be on the ball because they were all clever. I've looked back now because you're going to ask me this. There were Gunter Rooms, Dave Dent, Tony Adams, and I sparred once with Sylvester Mitty, and he absolutely knocked my head back all the time because every time I think I got near him, he must have had longish arms going. People will remember Sylvester Mitty was British champion.
So who else? And we've done the top 5: Sylvester Mitty, Brian Anderson. Who else would you get mentioned to?
Well, I'd like George Feeney. I sparred with Ricky Bowman. I remember sparring once with your mate Stacey's dad, Eddie Copeland. He was down Lawless before me, and Terry Lawless. I asked if I know him because up north, but he was Manchester. Eddie Copeland. I think I sparred with him once, and I vaguely remember somebody saying you're similar style like that. He didn't take liberties because he was sparring. Eddie Copeland won ABAs. Terry Lawless asked me about him, so he had high regard about him. But like going back to you, because we were from up north, Eddie Copeland couldn't sell tickets, so he come back home. I believe he didn't. I don't think he ever. I don't know. I think he probably had some fights with Lawless.
So another question in terms of, you say Colin Jones, big puncher. So you must have sparred Mick Mills a lot. How would you liken them to as punching power?
Well, obviously Mick could punch, but you didn't get nowhere near me. Like, you didn't want to, what they call it. It could be art boxed, but
Where Colin Jones was top class boxer as well.
well,
More
as I
like
say, I
more
mean,
like
we're only
Tootie,
two amateur schoolboy fights, wasn't it? Really? So.
So the best you boxed a pro, a couple of names of a pro you boxed, who would you say the best ones they were?
I remember boxing Steve Early.
Yeah.
I think I got stopped, but he was a bloody nose up. And if I ever get him again, I remember boxing him at Coventry, and I knocked him down, and the referee had to go to neutral corner. He didn't know where he was.
Is Steve Early still there?
Yeah, and he come back, he was staggering over to my corner, and I wish I'd have hit him now. You know, I probably got away with it.
Well, so he dropped me and then got stopped on a busted nose?
And then after that, second round, he knocked me, and next thing, all I'm realising, I'm skittling over at canvas. I get so, you know, they said they don't hurt them punches when you get on chin. And I'd got bloody canvas burns on my legs. I'm looking down at my leg. And next thing, third round, my nose is busted. And I was okay, but the referee stopped it. I mean, I see him now, and they like come out with the Yankees and don't they, pampering you like that. So I think he was, yeah, Steve Ailey could punch. I boxed George Peacock in Scotland. I could tell he was really good, but I got a bit of weight on, not weight on him, we won't say weight, but he was coming to end it together. Of course, Lloyd Christie, Billy Waif were really clever. That was less than 24 hours job when I boxed him, like, but experience, really clever. I'd learnt a lot of him. And amateurs, they were like Ricky Bowman. I got my cut eye when I was like welter first year. I would have probably met him in final at Yorkshire, but I got cut eye. John Kelly boxed him, and then about 6 weeks later, he was with Brendan. Can I tell a funny story about him, John Kelly, with Mick Mills? He was lodging with Mick Mills and Brendan. I just remember him saying, I didn't think I were ill. And I boxed John Kelly at Irish Centre. But on about Mick Mills, we were at Winkerbank Gym, as you know. Mick Mills lived at Chopper Hill at Thryborough, and John Kelly was from Ireland. I think he's gone back, I haven't seen him for years. And Mick were always with Brian, with dogs' lurchers. And he had this dog called Jip, where he were always on the fields chasing hares, he were running, keep it fit that way. And he's gave me he said, I'll get you a lift on, Dave. So we go in on, and he's sat there driving, and he said, I'd have dog put down, Dave, Jip. And I said, oh, what's that, mate? He said, chasing Brockett's leg on rough ground. The farmers had turned thing over, and there went. So took it at vet, said, the kindest thing, mate, is to have dog put down. So he's driving there, and I thought he was joking, but I looked at him, and I know he wasn't. He said, if it were between dog and John Kelly being put down, it would have been John Kelly. And yeah, you're laughing, but I'm looking at him, and I thought, that's how hard he was. And mate, we're always, you think like with me, with temper and that, he was brought up, it were a different era, like people, if they give you a bit of lip, if you want to fight something, Mick wanted to fight. He brought so many jaws out, bouncing at drapes and that. But he wasn't a bully, I don't think he was a bully, but if anybody. But yeah. So that was John Kelly, I beat John Kelly. Who turned pro with Brandon. Can't think. You'll have to.
So number one, Colin Jones then?
Well, I have to say that because points got respect for it. Because
All right, well, thank you very much. Good list, that.